Hello and welcome to the second video of this new channel. This is the Five Guys Takeover series, which is essentially a second playlist for deck testing. Today again we'll be running, well, Likey Serve is running a Warrior of the Crystal variant. Myself am running a mono lightning list that plays Barnabas, new priming forward from Opus 24. So we'll get straight into the game. Likey's showing off his hand. He's obviously quite happy with what he's got. And I've gone for a mulligan. So it looks as though I've opted to go first, so I've ditched 2 cards to pay 4 to play into a Narth. When Narth enters the field, I can reveal the top 2 cards of my deck, add 1 lightning card among them to my hand, and put the other in the break zone. Unfortunately, I only saw another Narth that was really playable at this point in the game, and opted to take that. And here's Likey ditching 4 to play into Sarah. When Sarah enters the field, you may search for 1 job king, job prince, or job princess and add it to your hand. And he's opted to search for the Princess Sarah. This card, when you enter it into field, name 1 element. Sarah becomes that element for the rest of the game. For the cost of tapping her, you can buff all forwards of that named element by 1k per turn. So it looks as though Likey passed back, tapping for 3, playing into a Gramis, which is going to allow me to search for a forward of category 12. Target in this deck is Alcid from Opus 2, and I'm sure a lot of you are probably looking at that thinking, why is he playing that? Like, people haven't played that in ages. But you know, I've been testing out with him, and you know, he's got a few pretty good targets now. I mean, you'll see some of them in this game. There's no need for me to list them now, but yeah, he does have a few decent targets, and you know, a lot of the meta at the moment, especially like with water, you've got a lot of the very low powered forwards, so plenty of targets for him. Looks like he's played tap 1, played Materia, discard for 2, playing into an Oracle. When Oracle enters the field, gain 1 crystal. So as you saw, or if you saw the last video we done, it was another Warrior of the Crystal variant, so yeah, he will be trying to ramp up his crystals. So again, it's passed to me. I've tapped 2, discarded 1 to play Narth's effect again, turning over an Ostinian and an Irvine. Looks like I'm trying to decide what I want to keep, so I opt to take the Ostinian. Am I thinking about doing something else? Yes. Okay, looks like I just discarded for turn. Okay, I must be holding a lot of stuff that I don't want to lose. Okay, so back over to Likey. He will tap 2, noting I think he made his princess ice, allowing him to play into the ice backup, and now he is casting Lena, which is going to allow him to bring back a 2 cost from the break zone onto the field if he pays the 1 crystal, which he clearly has. So likey looking like he's ramping up pretty quickly in this game. Discarding Kukulane. Okay. And passing 10. Now I have 2 forwards to contend with, and he's on 4 backups. So I really need to start creating some kind of field presence in this turn. Otherwise I'm going to start taking damage pretty rapidly. Now, I think I know what I'm about to do here. I'm just trying to work out how I want to cost things. Here we go. So, right, it looks like I've decided what I'm going to do. So I'm going to tap 2. Imagine I'm going to discard 1 to play into Alcid. And this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. With these current low-powered forwards, Alcid having a target, an active target, allows him to play in another forward of cost 3 or less of lightning onto the field. If you do so, Alcid will deal 6k to targeted forward. So obviously I'm targeting what I think is a Mog. It's very hard for me to see. I'm looking on quite a small screen, but I imagine it's a Mog. So yeah, so a legal target allows me to bring in the Alba. Alba is going to break a forward of cost 3 or less when it's entered by an ability, so that completely clears up his field, which is great tempo at this point. Exactly what I needed. Now, am I thinking about doing more? Oh, well, of course, the Alba, when it enters the field, not only does it break something, it gives a Job Warrior of Darkness haste, so it can give that haste to itself. Played in the Irvine, and Irvine also, when he enters, he's going to force 2 cards to be removed from my opponent's break zone, which is going to give him a 2k buff and haste. So playing now into 2 haste characters. So like he's looking like he's about to take 2 points of damage unless he has an answer to those forwards. Okay, so it looks like I preemptively removed 4 because I knew I was going to attack with Irvine, and then attacking there with Alba, putting like to 2 points of damage, and opting to pass turn. Just active phase, like he's gone to draw phase, and ended main phase 1. So all he has in his break zone at the moment now, because of Irvine, is the 2 Kukulane. Okay, so it looks like he's about to drop 2, which I imagine means he is looking to play into his Lucio if he has one. Let's see. No? Okay. He's going to play a Larsa, and he's going to search out that Lucio. So he didn't actually have it in hand, but just as good, he's now got one. Still on 4 active backups, so not going to be surprised if he taps 3, ditch 1. Did he discard another 2? Tapped another 1, played into his Lucio. Okay, so he's going to bring back 2 ffbe characters of different element now to his hand. As it's in main phase 1, I imagine you're going to see him about to go to combat, gain 2 crystals, and that's exactly what happens. Tap 1, play Velis, so she's going to dull and freeze something on entry. Note that he opted to pay 1 crystal and 1 CP of any elements, play her onto field, and he freezes the Alba. Pay 2, pay another crystal, and enter, what was her name? Setia. So she is the fire FFB forward. When she enters the field, choose 1 forward at 8k, and because of Velis, the effect will ping that he will dull and freeze something as well. So obviously he burned the Irvine and Dollar froze the Alcid. So like he's in a very good position. Let's see what I can pull out of the bag. Looks like I'm trying to work out my costing. Okay, this wave is just an indication that Likey has got up. Bear in mind, we're in 5 guys. We have to buy unlimited refills to be able to sit in there all night. So we are backwards and forwards to the toilet. It's what happens when you have unlimited refills at 5 guys. We're in there for like 4.5 hours doing nothing but drinking unlimited refill cokes. So it looks like I'm going to play the Narth's ability. So I'm going to turn 2 cards over. Choose 1 lightning card among them, play it, put it into my hand, put the other to the break zone, opting to keep the behemoth. This behemoth, when one of your forwards attacks, you can break behemoth. Choose 1 forward you control. It gains when this forward deals damage. It turns that damage into 2. That stays on that forward till the end of turn. Looks like I've tapped 1, discarded to play into Barnabas. Now I'm just making Likey aware that I'm about to prime, and I'm targeting Lucio to give him opportunity. He has no response, so we're going to go ahead and prime that Barnabas into Odin, which is going to put an 8k power reduction on the Lucio, and the Lucio will go. And here we are. So now Odin, when he enters the field, due to prime, he gains, when Odin attacks, reactivate Odin. He can attack again this turn, so every time he can attack twice and reactivate himself both times. And I'm going to ditch the other card in my hand to play the behemoth down. So Odin this turn is threatening up to 4 points of damage if Likey doesn't opt to block. So he blocks 1, reactivate, and go in for the second attack. So he's going to take 2 points of damage because of Behemoth's effect, and putting him to 4 points of damage. And it looks like I'm playing my second Narth. Oh, okay, so there's a note here. Me and Likey both missed this. So what happened was I played the Narth and I turned the 2 cards over, and I got greedy, chose the Odin, and we both missed the fact that obviously with Narth you can only actually bring a lightning forward to your hand. So this is a misplay. So this game technically is void from this point, although it is a learning channel. So I've opted to allow the video to still go up online. People can see, but we are aware now that there was a misplay at that point. So like he took the 2 points of damage, he really shouldn't have, but you'll see why I let the game run, sorry, not run, but why I opted still to upload the video. So here we're just discussing, I think, what options he could possibly have, because he feels in quite a tight spot. So sorry, when I was speaking of Setia entering the field earlier, the fire ffbe, it actually, what it does is it chooses one forward and deals it 4,000 damage for each warrior of the crystal you control. So potentially really powerful, considering this deck runs all 4 colours. Sorry, 4 colours here. No, it runs water, ice, fire, water, ice, fire. It doesn't run the wind. It runs earth, I believe. So it runs 4 of the FFBs. So it looks like he's playing into Lunar Freya. So that's going to let him turn over 5 cards. He's going to be able to bring one of those cards back to hand, and if it has an EX, it will trigger. So here we go, we're going to see the reveal. 5 off the top. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the Leviathan is the obvious choice in this situation. It's going to allow him to return a forward to my hand. If he, as he has chosen the Odin Barnabas, it puts Odin out of the game, and he looked like he brought himself back Astrius. So Astrius, let's have a look at Astrius. If you have 7 or more category FFBE cards in your break zone and or removed from the game, the cost required to cast Astrius is reduced by 5, making him free to play. When he attacks, select one of the 2 following actions, choose one forward, it loses 7,000 power until the end of the turn, or Astrius deals your opponent 1 point of damage. Both very strong options. Great card. I would call it certainly a must include in a 4-color Warrior of the Crystal deck. So here we see Loki also now playing into a Leo. This is going to allow him to draw a card, Leo Limit Break. So it is a cost 3, Limit Break cost 1. When he enters the field, just draw a card. So it's just ramping up his forward field. And now he is. Did he just enter something? I think I just missed that. He's clearly entered something to dull and freeze the Alcid. Right, but my turn. I have entered Cloud. I'm going to break a forward of cost 3 or less on entry. But I am falling behind very quickly in this game now. Although I had quite an aggressive start, now that he's 5 backups and he's getting his FFBE characters online, I'm struggling to keep up with him greatly. And using those Narth abilities, trying to find some kind of advantage in it not coming through, has really hindered my costing now from this point forward. So we see him tap 4. Looks like he's playing a Materia, I believe. Yeah, Materia can be played onto the field even if you control other light characters. She allows you to search for 1 light forward added to your hand, so he'll be searching as other Lucio. Ideal for him at this point. So I believe he must have broke the Oracle in order to do that. Yeah, so he obviously broke the Oracle, gave his forward a buff, opened up the space for Materia to come onto field, allowing him to search that Lucio. I'm obviously having a look at the Limit Break deck to see if there's anything that helps me at all at this point. Opting to attack with Alcid. So I think at this point I'm just desperate to get a higher power forward on field, so I attacked with the Alcid, knowing that it would break, allowing me to cost 1 play Nyx onto the field that turn, just for a bit of defense in my next turn to see maybe if I can draw into anything else. Again, checking that limit break deck to see if there's anything that helps, but I'm pretty sure at this point there really isn't anything that's helping. So yeah, you see a pass from me. So what I'm likely trying to do at this point is just restabilize, but I'm just clearly too far behind. Like, I've got him to 6 points of damage quite early, but you know, now he's just ramping up so quickly. Everything's more or less online. We're going to see Lucio come in again. That's going to give him 2 more ffbe's, so that's going to give him more triggers. I'm not sure if he has a Glaciella in hand as well, but once Glaciella's on the field, then he's going to have complete field dominance. He already does, but even more so. So here we go. Move to combat, gain 2 crystals. He's going to tap 1. I imagine play, yep. He's going to play the Velis, Dull and Freeze Nyx, and then he will tap 1, play into his other ffbe character, Rolgia. So now that all of the ffbe characters are going to be brave, plus 1k, and then the trigger Froze Cloud because of Velis as well. So here we are, back over to me. Now I'm back to 4 cards in hand, still very much behind. Just kind of dragging my feet to see if I can get back anywhere. So obviously, although as I noted earlier, there was a misplay which both of us missed, but the way that the Warrior of the Crystal deck came back, I thought it would be worth opting to still upload the video so that you can see that once this Warrior of the Crystal deck does get online and you know, you start seeing your forwards interacting and getting everything on board, like, it becomes a real powerhouse. So let's see what I can do. Noting I've still taken no points of damage, which is pretty amazing considering he's sitting there now with 6 forwards. Okay, so we're going to discard for 2. Play an Illusionist. Illusionist for the cost of dulling and bring it into the break zone. I can increase damage dealt by 2k. It looks like I discard a Behemoth, tap 1, play into a Dragoon. That's going to deal 4k to get that Leo off the field. And it looks like I'm just trying to do anything I can. Just playing stuff for the sake of playing stuff. I think at this point I'm looking at a pretty inevitable end, I think. Okay, so yeah, we see Glaciella. For some reason, he opts to play Glaciella's special, I think, here, opposed to just removing the forward with Lucio. So yeah, let's have a look at Glaciella's special. So Glaciella's special, choose one forward, deal it 2k damage for each character you control. And here he's just swinging Brave with all of his ffbe. And swinging in with the Lucio as well. And there we go. So I hit the 9-drop Odin. So I will target Glaciella to try and prevent him from costing Lucio's special. Just thinking about whether to swing in for a 5th. I mean, based on my field state, I don't think he really has too much to worry about, but then Lightning does have a lot of entrance ability, so I think maybe he's worried that if I can maybe break one of his forwards on an entry next turn, or tie anything down with dulling, it's going to be a problem. Also, he could hit another EX, which could create another problem. I mean, there you go. He's just shown his hand. He's stacked. He's better off just play something out. There we go. Another Glaciella. And then we're going to remove the Nyx. So he played the Glaciella special again. Interesting that he's opting that over the Lucio special. So here we go. We tap 2. Oh, no, we don't. So I think the only card that's going to help me at this point is Edge. Even so, so it looks like I've played the Edge. I'm going to drop 2 cards, which is my whole hand, and I think at this point I may as well just swing. I think I would at this point, I've more or less conceded, so I'll just take the Glaciella off field. So I should explain. So when Edge enters the field, all of my Lightning forwards gain when this forward attacks. It choose one forward, deal at 7,000. So when Cloud attacked, I dealt 7k to the Glaciella. Then insult to injury. Next turn, Likey plays down the Matthias, dull the Edge, and then that's it. So yeah, swing for game. But yeah. So, I am sorry there was a misplay mid-video. It is unfortunate, but like I said, this is a learning channel, so I hope that you still enjoyed the content, and there will be plenty more videos coming up over the next week, so do stay tuned for those, and please like, subscribe, and follow the channel. Thanks. Cheers for watching.